Okay, we are finally live. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, will the clerk please call the case?
The Supreme Court is now in session. The Honorable F. Philip Carbolito, Chief Justice presiding. This is Supreme Court case in re the admission of the candidates to the Guam Bar. Appearing on behalf of the Guam Bar Association Board of Governors is the President of the Guam Bar, Attorney Jacqueline T. Terlahi. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Associate Justice Robert J. Torres, and Associate Justice Catherine A. Merriman.
Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome all of you to our Supreme Court virtual courtroom. This is one of the benefits of our modern technology that we're able to conduct this proceeding in our virtual courtroom. And so those of you who are watching via our Supreme Court YouTube channel that we are live streaming, we want to welcome all of you for joining us. And let me just introduce the judicial officers and some of our dignitaries that are joining us this morning. As mentioned, I have my colleagues on the Supreme Court of Guam, Justice Robert J. Torres, and if you could just indicate by just waving, and that way you are properly recognized, and my colleague, Justice Catherine A. Merriman. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of our presiding judge, Alberto C. Lamarena. And thank you, PJ, and Judge Elise Ariarty. We also have with us our referee, Bridget Ann Keith, who is joining us. Also present in our virtual courtroom is our administrator of the courts, Christina Barrett. Our deputy administrator of the courts, Attorney Serge Kanga. Our clerk of court for the Supreme Court of Guam, Hannah Gutierrez Arroyo. And the president of the Guam Bar Association, Jackie Terlahi. A special guest, which I will properly introduce before she extends her remarks, is our keynote speaker who will speak, who will be our guest speaker for this morning, is our retired judge, the Honorable Elizabeth Barrett Anderson. So again, I just want to welcome all of you to the virtual Supreme Court courtroom. And at this time, I will ask Attorney Terlahi if she could unmute herself and introduce our candidates.
Half a day, Chief Justice, Your Honors, and Supreme Court, the Judiciary of Guam. I would have the honor today of introducing our three candidates. The three candidates today for admission to the Bar of Guam are Bryson Brazil, Nicholas Ennis, and Daniel Reedy. Attorney Brazil was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. He grew up with three brothers to whom he attributes much of his growth and who he also hopes to keep making proud. Attorney Brazil attended the University of Oregon, where he graduated in 2013 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and a minor in economics. He then went on to attend Marquette University Law School that fall. He graduated with a Juris Doctorate from Marquette in May 2016 with cum laude honors. While in law school, Attorney Brazil served on the law school's moot court board and the Marquette Sports Law Review. Attorney Brazil became licensed to practice law in Wisconsin and in Oregon after passing the bar exam in 2016. After working for about a year but seeking a new challenge, he accepted a job in Guam in July 2017. Having now practiced the last 5 years on island under a temporary membership, Attorney Brazil spent a year and a half as a prosecutor at the Office of the Attorney General of Guam. There, he prosecuted an array of crimes and was assigned as the lead DWI prosecutor. Since January 2019, Attorney Brazil has been representing indigent defendants in the Superior Court as an attorney with the alternate public defender. He has assisted hundreds of clients in defending criminal charges through each stage of the representation. Attorney Brazil proudly served as coach for Notre Dame High School's mock trial team from 2017 to 2020. While Attorney Brazil has enjoyed participating in all Guam has to offer, his free time now primarily includes being home with his beautiful wife and joyfully watching his 4-month-old daughter grow day by day. Nicholas Ennis. Attorney Nicholas J. Ennis graduated from the Quinnipiac School of Law in 2019, where he earned his Juris Doctorate with honors. While in law school, he served as a publication editor for the Quinnipiac Law Review, worked on immigration and civil rights cases with the Civil Justice Clinic, and co-founded the Quinnipiac Law Ice Hockey Club. Following law school, he was admitted to the Massachusetts Bar and served as a judicial law clerk for the Honorable Sidney Handlin at the Massachusetts Appeals Court. Attorney Ennis arrived in Guam and in August 2020 and served as judicial law clerk for the Honorable Elise McDonald Iriarte at the Guam Superior Court. Following his clerkship with Judge Iriarte, he accepted a job with the Camacho Cowell Law Group, where he is currently employed. Outside of the law, you can find him golfing, at the gym, or playing baseball and softball. Daniel Reedy. Attorney Danny Reedy was born and raised on the island of Guam. His parents are the late Michael Reedy and Joan Payne. He graduated magna cum laude from Seattle University in December 2016 and the University of Washington School of Law in June 2021. He served as a law clerk for the Supreme Court of Guam after law school. He is now a deputy prosecutor for San Juan County in Washington State.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I will entertain a motion for admission.
Thank you, Chief Justice. The Board of Law Examiners of the Supreme Court of Guam, having determined that the following candidates have successfully completed and satisfied all the qualifications necessary for admission to the Guam Bar as provided by law and the rules of the Board of Law Examiners. Now, therefore, I move this honorable court to admit the following candidates to the practice of law in Guam before the courts of Guam, to wit, Bryson Brazil, Nicholas J. Ennis, and Daniel I. Reedy.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I'm going to ask Justice Torres and Justice Merriman if you can unmute yourself, and is there any objection to the motion for admission?
I have no objection to granting admission of the 3 candidates.
I also have no objection. They are all qualified for admission.
Thank you, my colleagues. And at this time, I'm going to ask the candidates if you can unmute yourself, raise your right hand so we can see you properly on the screen, raising your right hand, and repeat after me. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Organic Act of Guam,
the Organic Act of Guam,
the applicable statutes of the United States,
the applicable
the applicable statutes of the United States,
and the laws of Guam,
and the laws of Guam,
that I will maintain the respect due
that I will maintain the respect
due
to the courts of justice and the judicial officers,
to the courts of justice and the judicial officers,
that I will conduct myself honorably
that I will conduct myself
honorably
as an attorney at law,
as an attorney at law,
and that I will abide by
and that I will
abide by
the Guam rules of professional conduct.
the Guam rules of
professional conduct.
Congratulations, counsels. You are now duly admitted to the Guam Bar Association. So it's a privilege and an honor at this time for me to introduce our keynote speaker. Judge Elizabeth Barrett Anderson holds the great distinctions of being the first female Chamorro attorney admitted to the practice of law in Guam, and the first woman and longest-serving attorney general. She was also a two-term senator in the Guam legislature before becoming a judge of the Superior Court of Guam. Judge Barrett Anderson, more fondly known as Judge GBA, retired from the bench after 14 years of service. She is a proud 1971 graduate of the Academy of Our Lady of Guam, and she obtained her law degree from the University of Santa Clara School of Law. Most recently, she is the 2022 Justicia Award recipient, an award bestowed each year in recognition of someone whose work exemplifies a dedication to advancing the cause of justice in our community. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, the Honorable Judge Elizabeth Barrett Anderson. Judge EBA.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice, and good morning, Justice Torres, Justice Merriman, Judge La Morena, Judge Iriarte, members of the judiciary, the family and friends of our admittees, and most especially these three handsome young men. 42 years ago, I took the same oath that you did. On February 5th, 1980, 2580, I hope today, which is 10/3/22, will become a date that you will remember, as I did. Ironically, when I got my car, my first car that I bought, the license plate I was given was 280, which became perfect because whoever remembers their license plate. So I remember 280 was the year I got admitted to the Guam bar. And so I had that license plate for quite a long time. And so hopefully 10/3/2022 or 10322 will also become a series of numbers that you will always remember. Maybe you could use it as the passcode to your suitcase luggage, or digital numbers to the key to your house. Now they're all homes are digital, or you use it as your ATM number. But or maybe even you might have it, ask it as your license plate, because who remembers their license plate? I can ask all of you here, how many of you really know your license plate right now? So I hope that 10/3/22 becomes numbers that you will find in your lifetime to be remarkable because of today's admission. For Bryson, this is your third admission, so it may not be as remarkable as it was for me or for others. And it probably comes third in line to your marriage and the birth of your daughter. So not quite sure, Bryson, whether 10/3/22 will become the number on all your passcodes, but maybe it will. I know my husband uses our granddaughter's birthday as his passcode. Bryson, I was very proud when you joined the Office of the Attorney General before I ended my tenure. And you took over the DWI court, which was very dear to my heart. As you knew, I helped to open and create the DWI court. And I found you as a very bright and intelligent young man. I am especially so happy that you have continued to make Guam your home. Although I can't exactly say I'm particularly happy that you went over to the defense side, but that's okay. Annie Gale is a great manager over there. But Bryson, thank you for staying on Guam and making Guam your home. I hope to see you sometime out there with your wife and your lovely daughter. Daniel Reedy, my goodness. I know your mom first. She's a 72 AOLG graduate. I'm a 71. I always knew your mom as such a brilliant young woman. And then I had the honor and privilege to work with your father as the director of BBMR during the Ada Bloss administration. Honestly, Daniel, what a man. I can still hear in my mind his laughter. Your dad had the most incredible laughter. But most of all, he was just so brilliant and such a wonderful man to work with. I hope that you follow in his footsteps, and at some point in time you come back to Guam and give back in public service what your father had done for the people of Guam. I was not privileged to work with him in the Guam legislature. He preceded me in the 21st. I was in the 22nd and the 23rd. But when I saw your name as an admittee today, it made me very, very proud. Please say hello to your mom from Liz. Mr. Ennis, I understand that you were a judicial officer. I loved all my law clerks. You have the special, I started off my law career as a law clerk. And I always say to young attorneys, what should they do when they get out of law school? I say, find a judicial clerkship. When I did my clerkship after about a year and I returned to the Department of Education, the legal counsel there said that I was more of a lawyer when I came back to the department than when I left the department to become a law clerk. I also say that being a judicial law clerk teaches you to become the kind of lawyer that you want to be, but also the kind of lawyer that you don't want to be. You see both the good and the bad in the courtroom, but most especially, you become a good lawyer for your client, and you become a good lawyer for the judges, because you know what the judges need to do their job well on the bench. I believe it's why the Camacho Calvo firm hired you, because you have that unique insight, and I wish you good luck in that law firm. I would be remiss if I didn't give you some should do, must do, ought to do advice. And when I was contemplating that, I thought, well, I think you know all the shoulds, the must, and the ought to do's, or you wouldn't be where you're at as we sit, stand, and Zoom today. So I'm going to give you what I call the Baz Luhrmann. And if you know who Baz Luhrmann is, he's a film director. He's also a wonderful writer. I think he just finished producing the Elvis movie. But many, many, many years ago, he wrote something called Sunscreen. And if you ever have an opportunity to read that, Baz Luhrmann on Sunscreen. So I'm going to do a little, very short mini version of Sunscreen. Be kind. Be kind to the people that you work with. There's nothing worse than working with someone who is unpleasant. Be kind to your secretaries. Be kind to the process servers and the runners, and be kind to the filing clerks. Be kind to your fellow attorneys. Be good for your word, good in your judgment, good in your character and in your practice. Be truthful. It's incredibly sad these days that lawyers are now the brunt of jokes. How does a lawyer sleep? Well, first they lie on one side and then they lie on the other side. I don't know when lawyers became the brunt of these kinds of jokes, but it's got to stop. Be truthful so that the word lawyer is never heard of as liar. I hired my liar. No, you hired your lawyer. Oh, let me get to the end. Oh, be honest in your dealings with other lawyers, and especially with your clients. Honesty is not something that comes from your DNA. Honesty is something that you learn, and you have to practice honesty, and it's not easy. But you will be admired for your honesty, so be honest. And finally, gentlemen, be worthy of this honor today, 10/3/22. Be worthy of admission to the Guam Bar, and I hope that someday you will have the opportunity to give a speech likewise to new admittees. And I wish you all much luck in your practice in the Territory Guam. I'm not a great lover of Zoom. So hopefully I see your faces here, and someday I'll be able to extend my hand and shake my congratulations for your admission on 10/3/22. Remember, 10/3/22. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge EVA. And let me just say that now we all know your passcode 020580 or some variation of that. And but thank you for those very inspiring words. I'm very confident that my colleagues concur in your words of encouragement to the newly admitted members of the Guam Bar Association. We appreciate you taking the time and the effort to convey those encouraging and inspiring words. And so before we conclude our ceremony this morning, I'm going to ask that you all leave your video on. We're going to take a Zoom virtual picture that will be in commemoration of this day for our new admittees. And so, Jessica, if you could just let us know what to do, and let us know when you're ready to take this picture.
Okay, I guess I'm doing a print screen. Does anybody, I've never done this before. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that should work. Give me one quick sec to double check. Yes, I have a screenshot of everyone.
All right, and if we could just send that to everyone on the screen, and so we can commemorate this important day in the lives of the 3 newly admittees of the Guam Bar Association. Congratulations. We wish you all the best. And like Judge EVA said, we look forward to you at some point in your career appearing before the courts of Guam. And thank you all, and good day to everyone.
Congratulations, everyone.